All right, now we're going to take a look at the weather system in World at War 85, which can represent a multitude of different things happening, whether it's a severe thunderstorm, a blizzard, the terrain becoming severely muddy and slowing down the troops. It represents a multitude of different effects that can affect the troops and the vehicles that are participating in your scenario. Now, just below your turn record track is where you're going to find your weather track and also the squall and mud boxes. Generally speaking, unless your scenario states otherwise, your weather track is going to begin at level 0, which is clear, and your squall and mud boxes are going to be empty. Now, the way the weather is actually going to change is going to be on your battlefield events table. When you're rolling on that, there are a couple of different results that can affect the weather. One that can potentially cause what's called a squall, or one that can change the weather track itself. So let's say we rolled on the battlefield events table and we got the weather change event. At that point, you're going to look at the weather change table. I've got it on screen for you now. And you'll see there's a multitude of different levels that it can be. And on the left side, it has a 2d6 roll. You'll roll your 2d6 and it'll tell you what level the weather is going to go to at that point. Conveniently below the weather change table is a summary of all the different effects that can occur for all the different types of weather that you can have. It can do things like put out fire or even remove your close air support and helicopters from the scenario. And if they are removed, they are not put back, even if the weather reduces itself later on due to another event. So all you have to do if you change your weather is look to see what level it goes to and apply those effects to your game from that point on until the weather changes again. Now, if you do have the mud or / deep snow penalty applied, that's going to remain in effect for the remainder of the scenario due to the fact that the time constraints of the scenario, the ground is not going to dry out enough for the mud effect to go away. The effects for the squall condition are listed down on its result on the battlefield events table, and it could potentially either raise or lower the effects of the weather just depending on what part of the track that you're on at that time. So it could represent either a worsening of the storm or a lull in the storm, but you'll apply just those effects at that time, and the squall will only stay in effect for that one turn, at which point the weather will go back to whatever level it was prior to the squall taking effect. Do make sure that you keep in mind that these effects from the weather are not cumulative. You're only going to apply the effects from whatever row that you are in at that point. So level 3, level 4, level 2, whatever it is that you're being affected by, only those effects are going to be in play at that time.